Hi everyone, welcome back to Rare Realities with Madimo Mimo Mokgosi, where we dive into the emotional journeys of individuals living with difficult realities, where we tell one story at a time. Imagine going to the doctor and coming back with a diagnosis that can either be cured, cannot be cured, and now you have to live with it for the rest of your life. With me, I have Luyanda.
Hi, Mimo.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And
Guys,
yourself?
like I saw Luyanda for the first time and I was like, how?
Same.
How am I meeting someone who looks just like me?
Right?
So Luyanda is living with type 1 diabetes. Luyanda, before you go into the type 1 diabetes, please tell us about yourself.
Yo. Okay, yeah, my name is Luyanda Ngalonkulu. I am a 27-year-old adult a social media content creator who raises awareness about obviously the disease that I live with, type 1 diabetes. And I am also a very bubbly, friendly human being, I think. Um, yeah, yo, that's a difficult question. Tell me about yourself. But yeah, I am yo,
There's a lot.
there's a lot.
There's a
I'm a lot
lot.
of things. I am a creative, I'm a musician, I studied the arts, I did dramatic arts at Wits. I sing, I play music, instruments. So there's a lot. Well round creative, but
Mm,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. When were you diagnosed with diabetes?
Okay, it started off as a warning, if I could put it like that. I was in grade 10. So it's been over a decade living with it, officially like on insulin and taking medications from matric that was 2015. So it's been about 11, 10 years. Yeah.
I was yesterday's old when I found out that diabetes is an autoimmune condition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with someone living with autoimmune myself, it's quite weird that your immune system gets to attack whatever that's on your body.
Literally. Well, for me, it's that it doesn't have enough, I don't have enough insulin
Uh-huh.
to function on my pancreas. So I need that, you know,
To
to
regenerate it.
regenerate it. Yeah.
And tell us
Basically.
about the treatment. Do you only inject yourself, or is there like physical, like your pills
No, no,
that you
no.
need to take?
No, no, no. I just inject myself. Type 1 mainly is just the insulin because you're insulin resistant. You don't not having enough of it in your body from your pancreas to be able to function, or that there's too little of it. But then there's type 2 who will take insulin but also take pills because they do also they have, but it's just like not flowing the way that it's supposed to. But for me, I just take insulin. There's no pills, luckily, because I don't think I would manage that, to be honest.
And how is it? Because I'm going to take myself back because I'm going to put myself in your shoes.
Mm,
Post my liver transplant, I also had to like inject myself. I suppose my body needed some glucose.
mm,
And for me, when it was done by the nurse, I was like, ah, good shot. And for me, I think it was easy because they cut all my nerves on my stomach. I couldn't feel my stomach for
mm,
like a year, close to a year. So the nurse would come in, just, it's just like a penish, a very
mm,
light
mm.
injection. And they just, when I had to do it at home, I was just like, okay, 10, 1 to 10, 10,
Yeah.
1, 2. But how do you do it? How do you get into the process of now it's becoming a norm, you need to do it and it doesn't become like as a yo.
To be honest with you, I don't think I ever really felt much of the scare of it. Like, okay, this is a needle, it's going into me type of thing. Like, I grew up seeing my mom do it,
Oh,
helping my mom through it because, it's hereditary. I got it from my
oh,
mom.
okay.
Yeah. So, it was already like normal for me. So also, I don't know if it's partly because I don't know, I like pain. I mean, I have 49
Well,
tattoos.
I was just
So
about
it
to
makes it
say.
it makes it easier. Literally, when someone asks me that question, I always just say like I have 49 tattoos. It's just like one extra like jab of a needle, you know. So, but yeah, for me, it wasn't that difficult. I actually prefer to do it myself. Like when I get hospitalized, I
Yeah.
prefer to do it myself than to have somebody else do it because it's just like, it's quick, you know. That, yeah, the panic of, are they going in?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to deal
But you
with
know, there
that.
are people who've got ink, but funny enough, are scared of needles.
True, true. Because I mean, it's a whole different thing. I guess with tattoos, it just sits on your skin. The needle
Yeah.
is actually going in. So I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to justify it, but like I can see it, man.
So you say you were diagnosed in high school. You were in
Yes.
high school.
Yeah.
So you having to take your treatment. How did your friends take it? How did your family take it?
Yeah. So, like I said, it started off as a warning a bit, right? So,
Uh-huh.
starting out, it was a matter of, okay, you're a bit obese for your age and for
Oh,
your
okay.
height. So, you need to like change your lifestyle, you know, eat healthy. And then I was taking pills at the time, but the pills that I was taking had a side effect of acid, which would create abscesses, boil. Like it's like an intense version of a boil because I mean, for
Uh-huh.
diabetic people, it can get a bit dangerous. So with that, that's when the insulin was introduced. My friends were actually very supportive. My best friend,
That,
yo,
that.
yeah, my best friend used to like really nurse me. Like when I had my first uh what do you call this, my first operation, removing an abscess, you know,
Uh-huh.
she took care of me, would always come see me before going to class because I went to a boarding school, come see me before going to class, help me through taking my medication. So it was very, it was easy. I had like a very yeah, a
Okay.
very strong supportive structure from my friends, and obviously from my mom, my sister, obviously because we've been kind of so yeah, it wasn't that hard, I guess, which made it easier to, in terms of accepting it. I mean, it was difficult for me to accept it, but like the support and the love from everyone around me made it, you know, like easier that
Yeah.
you can live with this thing, you can manage, it's not the end of the world.
True.
And I think, especially because of like the stigma or like the energy around it at the time, you know, diabetes is for old people, you know, obesity. Now, like I'm feeling like, yo,
Mm.
you're only what,
Yeah.
16, dog, like you are
Yeah.
like having old people diseases. So it
Yeah.
was difficult for me, but like for my community, no, not so much.
Yeah, I was just about to ask Rana, how did it affect you mentally? And you having to accept. I know that we do accept conditions, but we do have those days where we just feel like,
Mm,
I'm tired. Do you
it's
have
exhausting.
those days and how do you deal with them?
I definitely do have those days. um I think this past 2 years actually has been much better in terms of like dealing with it, as like opposed to like the past 8 9 years, right? Because it's very difficult to not be hard on yourself about it, you know. And especially for me being a content creator, I'm in the spotlight a lot, you know. The medication, the lifestyle affects my body weight a lot. There's a lot of comments around it, a lot. You know, already like I'm dealing with it. It's difficult every day waking up. Like I have to, when I look at like my expenses, for
Uh-huh.
example, you know, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, it's quite costly. Ensuring that I think the hardest part of it also is the like the lifestyle change.
Yeah.
You go from the life that you know that you're used to like having to drastically adjust your diet and all of that, which gets hard, you know. So trying to find that balance and like accommodating with those healthy options that allow you to still kind of like snack, but like it's in a
Yeah.
like on a healthy
Yeah.
aspect, it gets hard,
Yeah.
right? So to be in the limelight and have people question or make comments about like my physique and how I look, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, guys, I mean, I've, you know, I've lost weight a lot of
Yeah.
times. I've been pretty small, obviously not by choice, because the 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 diabetes affects my body weight. It affects the fact that I will have like a big tummy type of thing
Yeah.
because of the insulin, but like constantly having to like feel the need to explain yourself, because I think if we can shy away from it as much as we want to, be like, no, just mind them, don't mind them, put them at the background, you know, don't mind the noise. It's difficult to not mind the noise when it's like
It
all
is.
that you see. So, but I think I have worked really hard in accepting it, it's not the end of the
That the
world.
negativity
Yeah,
will be there, but it does not
it
affect you
shouldn't
in a way.
affect me.
May
No.
I ask you why why did you decide, you know what, I'm going to put my health out there?
The decision wasn't like a easy one. It felt like I didn't have a choice type of situation, because I'm literally a walking flight risk. So a huge part of it is for my safety. If I'm ever anywhere and anything happens, I collapse, someone in the space will be able to,
I
this
like that.
person, they
Yeah,
have this,
they have this. Yeah,
yeah, because even getting to relationships, it's not really an easy conversation, like especially when I hadn't accepted it. So it's not an easy conversation to have, like, okay, I'm diabetic, because of that whole thing of like, okay, it's associated with obesity. So yeah, in the past, not now, like in the past, it would be difficult, even my relationships, and like you find out that my partner would only find out about it when now I'm in hospital because something has happened, you know so I've gotten myself to just being okay with speaking about it, for my safety as well. And
uh-huh.
obviously for the safety and the
Awareness.
awareness of the next person, to know
Okay,
how to navigate,
okay.
being in my space and being
The relationship part.
with.
Don't worry. I won't put you in a burning seat. It's like burning myself. On the relationship partner, when is it the right time to tell your partner? On the first date, or when you guys are already have already formed something?
Honestly, for me, flight risk from the word go. I think as soon as, hey, also now I'm a lesbian, and like the speed of things that side, they move like lightning.
How drain?
you know so I mean, things generally move very quickly,
Yeah.
and like I think for me, majority of my relationships start online, um distance, a bit of distance,
Oh,
time, very busy
okay.
person, so like seeing the people kind of takes a bit of time. So in that time, getting to know each
Mm-hmm.
other, I think it's important for me to, mention it,
Expose it.
so
Yeah.
that also a person can do with it what they want to. It's difficult to, um, oh, it's a difficult one when it comes
It
to
is
relationships,
because I was having
actually.
a conversation with someone and they say, the minute you tell me that you are diabetic,
Mm.
I am not letting you get to know me in a sense, but I'm now giving you like putting fear in your head that actually this person is sick. I don't think I want to be with this person.
Ish. Yes,
Is that how
but
you feel?
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because, a part of me will feel like a bit of a burden, in terms of like, it's a lot to deal with, even
Yeah.
for my friends. As well as sometimes, like, yo, when I'm like my best friend, for example, she's in Durban, I'm getting sick, I'm all the way in Joburg. Like, it's a very stressful time. And in that time, maybe a lot of the time, I'm like, straight through ICU, I'm unconscious, like I'm chill, like I'm not getting affected. Only the people that are around me that
Yeah.
have to deal with, um the stress of,
Yeah.
keeping in contact, and like keeping tabs on how I'm doing. Stressful for them. So when I have to share, when it gets to relationship, a part of me doesn't want to place that responsibility
Yeah.
on the next person, because also I'm a very like independent, self-sufficient person. I
Yeah.
don't want anyone to feel the need that to take care of me, right? But I also do feel like putting it out there allows the person to make a decision about how they want to be there.
Yeah.
If for them is okay, I can't do this, this is too much for me, fair
It's
that they know.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, fair that they know from the word go, so that they have that room to leave,
Yeah.
if they want to do that. But if they're choosing to stay, they know the reasons why they're doing it for themselves. Are they educating themselves? Do they feel the need to ask the questions that I'm obviously more than happy and willing to answer at all times, so that
Yeah.
they know how to navigate? Because like, there's nothing that disheartening like going in blind, and then like getting shocked as time goes. Because I think I wouldn't want that for myself. I think also you want to know how best you can show up for someone,
For someone, yeah.
as a decision that you're making for
Uh,
yourself.
mm,
So that, knowing before, man, it allows for that to happen.
okay. Back to the treatment, ne? Do you only have to inject yourself on your stomach
Yes, because it's the closest
to the
to the
pancreas?
pancreas. Yes.
I
When
thought
I
so.
got diagnosed, I used to do it on my thigh, so
Uh-huh.
it would either be your thigh or your tummy. But over the years, meeting different doctors, that advise like Kuti, obviously it's better if you do it on your tummy because because insulin. It's not even
Yeah.
resistant. Just
And I take it you need to test yourself first. Or how low or high? High?
because it also it's quite a lot. You do need to test yourself obviously before meals, maybe like 2 hours after meals, to just see if it's balanced like
Okay.
properly. The reason for that is that, like, let's say for example, you have an infection or you have something that will affect the sugar levels,
Uh-huh.
and you just take your insulin blind. You don't know how high or how low it is. It could affect it badly. Let's say your sugar is already on a 4 and you're not aware, or like you're not able to tell when it's low, type of thing, and you take the insulin, it only brings it down even more. Then now you can get into like a critical situation. So you do need to check. If you check and maybe it's like on a 6, which is fine, you don't necessarily need to take like um I get prescribed like 10 units. I don't need to take the 10 because it's already
Okay.
at like an okay point unless
Oh,
I'm eating, because I carry the food obviously will increase my sugar levels.
yeah.
So you do constantly need to check. Like, for example, if I'm not eating, I don't take my pen that I take before I eat. Like if I don't have an appetite maybe for that day, or I don't really feel like eating, I won't take my Apidra because it will only bring my sugar level down. But I do take two types of insulin. I also take opticillin, which is like the long acting one that I take only once a day. So in the morning to just kind of maintain or sustain my sugar level throughout the day.
Yeah.
So that one is a must every single day, whether gas is I have to
Yeah.
take it. But with that, I take 30 minutes before meal, kind of like balance my sugar level, that whatever I am intake don't increase. So you
Yeah.
do have to check. You can't just
Yeah, o no go tswa fela. Every time o batla pain, you
you
just yeah,
can't.
you just
You
yeah. Does
can't.
it ever come to a point where you literally just take at least 3 or more a day
Um, in
due
terms
to
of what?
like the more you taste and you just find that your sugar is still not balanced?
Yes, it's if it's high. Unfortunately, the only cure is to take your insulin because that's gonna be down. But like in an instance where it's really low, obviously you can't take the insulin. You find substitutes, apple juice,
Yeah.
starch water, so that it can go up. But in an instance where you're trying to find a balance, you do have to check it like regularly, like every 10 minutes, just to check to see if it's getting to that okay point, because then that guides when you stop. Like in
Sure.
case where it's high, let's say maybe it's on the 27,
Yeah.
I'll take my insulin like maybe 2 or 4 more units than what I'm prescribed. Check it maybe in the next 10 minutes, check it in the next 30 minutes to see if it's going. And then if it's not, I can take like an extra 2 units. So, ke mosebetsi o mongata.
I can imagine
It is
your lifestyle as well has changed to to accommodate this
drastic.
condition. I saw it's not funny, but it's a bit of a yeah. I saw a post you once posted, and I can also relate. I remember. I think you went out to a concert
Yo, Loiso.
because I also went to Kunye. I can't remember which year,
Mhm.
and they were searching my bag, and they found like so I've got like a container with
Mhm.
pills in it, and they thought I
Mm.
had drugs with me, and I had to explain, no, I'm a liver transplant patient. They're like, okay, call the paramedics to confirm these are
Yeah.
not drugs. So what
Mm.
happened, my
Yo,
sister?
I was so stressed that time because I had just gotten discharged from like the hospital. And at that time, I had also been diagnosed with pneumonia. So I was hypoglycemic. Hypoglycemic is basically very low sugar level. Whether like that, like it has nothing. So I constantly need to have something to nibble on,
Yeah.
obviously, and very specific things. I can't just have anything because then now it's gonna shoot up, like the imbalance. So I needed to. I mean, yes, I'm going to an event. Yes, they're selling things in there, but I needed to eat very specific things.
Yeah.
So I was like, I am not going. Go fitara, keep explaining, but understand. I got there, got it. Yo, immediately when I stood on the line in the queue, that my lume makes an announcement, Uguti,
No
drinks,
food,
water,
no.
whatever. Throw it
Yeah.
out right now. You better eat fast before you get to the gate. And I was like, hey, this is, I went to him and I explained to him, "Hi, Malube, headache, this is what's in my bag. I
Yeah.
need to go in because if anything happens, it's not gonna be cute. Yabo. Then yeah, actually ungphasitse line, yo line etelele jwang. Put
That's
me through to the front. He
cool.
was very helpful, spoke to everyone that needed me, like,
Yeah.
to get access. And I got in and I had so much fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad that even with conditions you still living your life, you putting like there is no
Abanyane.
restriction. There shouldn't be any
It shouldn't
restrictions.
be.
When are we just here to treat these things?
Honestly, I've just been chosen to be responsible for this thing. I'm doing my part.
Because you are the strongest worry.
Exactly.
When God was like,
Exactly.
Ati, I'll
Strongest.
take it.
Yay,
I'll take it and
strongest.
I'll fight it. Yeah, but you know what? God will never give you something that you cannot handle.
Handle.
And how waka you having to have to nibble on something every now and then. It just clicked on my mind hore wait we grew up to ntate mamang o na le tswekere so kopa o mo phehele something ka
Mm,
mothoko ha ntse a emetse eng you need to
mm,
at least be
mm,
making them
mm.
something so I take it even at work they understand that during meetings
Yo,
umu
mesinyana, guys. 5 minutes nyana.
was neka
Yeah,
every now and
every
then
now and then.
and that has never
It's never a problem. I think it's very important to, people will just listen and they'll offer you the support that you require. You just speak. I imagine I'm just like just nibbling on things. I'm coming across as a rude
disrespect
person,
yeah
disrespectful, who
mm.
doesn't have ethic. Whereas if I've communicated prior, to my superiors, they can be accommodating of those situations. My team knows so that should anything happen, really, they know Gucci, this is not the type of thing that we would give to this.
Yeah,
We actually need to wait on a professional to do this. Or
true.
maybe they know where to get my machine to check my sugar level so that you can
Yeah.
check to see what's happening. Is it low? Does she need a Coke? Does she need a apple juice? What is it? So no, it's not a problem, and I think I'm grateful to have like supportive community from all phases of my life.
Yeah.
From work, from family, friends, strangers, people that just a part of my TikTok and my Instagram
Yeah.
family, to have those random check-ins or, my comments. Recently I posted a video and like I was getting a lot of questions about how has your sugar been? People just genuinely care for my
Mm.
well-being. I think it makes it easy, makes it bearable.
You have, I guess, built that community that now knows.
Mm,
And what I have recognized as well with myself that if you get one negative comment regarding, let's say, your weight, one person, it doesn't even have to be you, one person will come and defend and say,
deal with it.
no,
Yeah.
kanti hautsebe, this is what's happening. Her health, the diabetes type
Yeah.
1, and start
Yeah.
explaining, which is the nice part about putting your condition out there, not for self-pity, but to raise awareness for
Mm,
people to educate more than anything. And I feel that's one of the reasons why we need to actually continue. I
yeah.
know there are some days where you feel like, do you ever feel like there are some things that you do not wanna let's say when you're too sick? Because I don't think you know how to be a patient. You're just like me. You don't
What
know
do you
how to
mean?
you
I
don't
don't
know
know
how
how
to
to
be a
be.
patient
I don't. Ish.
because you'll be in hospital but still wanna put that strong Luyanda and still want to inform us. So, hey guys, yes, I know that you're worried. When yet you could be just lay back
Okay,
a little bit
I hear you.
and then come and tell us when you're better. I'm also like that. That's
I
why
think
I'm
I think like part of my like the foundation of my content creation is authenticity.
being
So
you.
I'm a very real person. Like
Mm.
what you see is what you
What you
get
get,
type of
yeah.
situation. So in those moments, like that my content is my life. I share my life
Yeah.
with the masses. So if at that point in my life I'm down bad, life isn't perfect. I'm down bad, you know.
Mm.
And I think it also helps. I think the biggest part of sharing about my health has been the DMs about how the content is helping people be there for their partners that are living with my
Yeah.
disease. It's not just for people who have diabetes, it's also for families, it's also for people that are trying to be
Mm.
there for
Mm.
people that live with the condition, you know. And it's not easy, you know, to welcome people. And I know that
Yeah.
it's not easy to take in the help, to take in the
True.
assistance. Most
Mm.
of the time, it feels like an attack. Yes, I know I'm not
Yeah.
living a healthy lifestyle. Now I have this thing that I have to deal with it. It's difficult. It's a lifestyle change, like I said. Let's say for someone who drinks, for example, now you have to stop drinking. It's not easy because it's
Yeah.
something that's taken away from you, maybe that, you know, you enjoy doing now that you have to just kind of put on hold.
Uh-huh.
And you feel like the world doesn't get it because everybody is trying to like help you through it so that you can be okay. For you, you are fighting with being okay and like still keeping everything that you know. So I think for me to put it out there, it helps people navigate life with their loved one. How best do I show up for this person? Because it's not always going to be easy for them to communicate it because they want
Yeah.
to battle and they want to deal with it on their own. They're processing.
Yeah.
It takes time to accept things, you know, especially live changes like this, like especially for people who get diagnosed with diabetes that were not born with it, like from birth. Yes, it's hereditary, but you only find out about it at a certain stage,
Later stage, yeah.
you know. So now it's an adjustment. So that's not easy. So it helps people, man. And you know, to read those comments and be like, my mom just last week was in the same
Yeah.
position. It shows them like this
Yeah.
is what they are going through
Yeah.
in hospital, on that hospital bed. This is what this experience is like. This is the closest thing to understanding what their experience is like, and this is how best I can be there for them.
Mm.
So I don't really see it like that. And maybe also I'm just an oversharer and I need to work on that. But I don't think I actually need to work on
No, also
it.
remember it's one thing for a doctor to diagnose you and you hear a doctor, maybe they having like a conference, they talking about
Mm,
raising awareness on diabetes. But when it comes from a patient, then I feel like it's more informative because it involves your emotions as
yeah.
well. And people relate to you more when they're not reading about something, but you
Mm,
actually sharing and you living with it.
yeah.
Hore, I man, Luyanda has diabetes, but you won't see her doing a different content now. She's depressed and she's complaining about this thing always makes me tired. I can't do this. I can do this. But you show us your
Mm,
life, you know, or
mm,
you can actually live your life without putting a condition
mm,
before it, you
mm,
know. And it's more about living. I always said when I was on my deathbed, the only thing I wanted was life. And so when I get sick, I'm like, ah, this is minor.
mm,
I've gone through the worst. You know now your
mm,
body, or it can take in this, it can't take that,
mm,
right?
mm,
And more than anything, we need to also listen to our body because I feel like we brush that off so many times.
me too.
And the diabetes as well, I see because if it's autoimmune, this means that the condition hides itself
Mm,
and then later shows.
mm,
And then maybe when it shows, it's on the last stage where it needs like,
mm,
special attention and more time.
mm.
So I know you said yours was, but what are the symptoms, would you say, that it's different?
I wouldn't really say it's different. I think, you know, you have like
The
underlying,
general,
yeah,
okay.
symptoms, you know, dry mouth, you know, constantly being thirsty, your urine as well.
You pee a
Um,
lot.
yes, you pee a lot. Well, it depends, Kalogo, how you deal with the thirst.
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
actually intake, but I mean, like
oh,
you just generally have like a dry
the
mouth,
dry
you're, yeah,
mouth,
constantly
yeah.
thirsty, and then like, hey, you you I'm gonna say this because now I know, but like obviously some of these symptoms, like how, when they happen, you don't know that this is what's happening. But like the itchiness around, not itchiness, like irritation around your private area from like kare moto wa chesa, I can say like that saying like batho ba baholo moto o chesang like how le o tswa so only yellow so
Yeah.
bona se moto like o pure
Yeah.
because when I tswekere ka mo.
Oh,
That's also how they test for these like ketones
oh
in your
yeah.
urine and ho ruruha, and kind of also you get weight loss, but not to say when your weight is inconsistent it means you have diabetes. No,
Yeah.
but like when you start to swell a lot around the your feet area, you don't heal when you get wounded. You
Yes.
take
That one is
long to
very
heal. It's
common.
very
I
common.
take
You
it.
take
Yeah.
long to heal, and then depending on a lot of the time, obviously, when you don't know that you're diabetic, it would be too high because I you keep on intaking things, 30
Yeah.
spec, 30 spec. But at some point, there's like a certain ringing in your ear. I don't know, it's like a kind of thing. I don't know
I thought
how.
Gabadi.
Well, I mean, actually, yeah, but you know about because
I'm sitting here and I'm like,
but yeah, that's like an indication where it's like really low.
um,
Yeah, man, ish.
would you say people, one, yes, I know that people are misinformed, but I don't think people, I don't know what makes people to actually go and, okay, one, as you accept, go to the doctor and now take your treatment. Because I know I had like my dad's brother who passed on
Mhm.
had diabetes, but I don't remember him injecting himself or diabetes that's okay. But we grew up knowing how you know. And when he passed, we couldn't see him because unaruruile, unanale, you know. But now, when do you know you must go and take your medication? And is it available for other people, like, or at public spaces for
Mm.
free?
Yes, it is. It is available, but you do know you pay for public clinics like ako time like maybe less than 100 rand to
Oh,
for a
okay.
consultation. But yes, there is access. You can go to a clinic. They test your blood to see if there's any sugar, and then also the other test is your urine. They'll always test your urine for the ketones,
Yeah.
and then I is it that thing there where they put that strip in the
Yeah.
images,
Kamomo.
they can see the ketones on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is available. It is free to check. You can't just take medication for it. It does need to be prescribed. So you
Okay.
can't just go like go pharmacy, but this but like a
Oh, a
doctor's note
doctor's
that
note. Yeah.
thingy. So I think maybe testing more than once, but the test you do have to do it on fasting, like before ojile anything for the day. Maybe if your last meal is around 4 p.m. of a previous day, then going to the doctor the next day you don't check so that they have a real an accurate reading of your blood level. I think also because everyone on right? But there's what's normal, a normal
Yeah.
reading for that too. If obviously for when I was it's like any 5 for anything there is fine,
Yeah.
like it's normal. But if unale motho wa tswekere, obviously you'll go over that 6 threshold. Anything that goes up from 11, what maybe you would need to do constant checks so that they can verify and confirm that that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And they will then advise Uguti, the next time you come Osaja for this amount of hours
Mm.
so they can get an accurate reading. So yeah, but the medication is available and it is free. Um you don't pay for it. So yeah.
Because I'm just asking myself if the medication is available, why aren't people going? Because sometimes, again, I guess sometimes people do not want to accept
Mm,
that they've got a condition.
mm,
And most people, they feel when I get better, "Ugh, I don't need this."
mm. Ish, actually, I'm gonna go back to the point where you're saying Kamalumaha, like he never took insulin, never took anything. Na dila ka yone ka that thing, because my dad is also like, hey, my dad is struggling with acceptance
Yeah.
of this thing, even past my mom passing on. Like he just doesn't get it. Like sharp young was like, oh sharp, why must you take this thing? Type of thing. He wants to deal with it. My dad is like very spiritual,
Mm.
traditional. Ba tlo shapa dipitsa, go nwewe. It
Yeah.
confuses madi ntwe, and it's not
Hmm.
actually good. So I think what I'm trying my point that the point that I'm trying to make, some of the rati tse re di direlang ko tlung, di a fitlhisa the actual thing. So by the time it actually gets critical, you won't know it because you are thinking to yourself, "Ai, ke utlwile
Ntse
mo le
ke
mo
ba
radio,
betere.
ha ke feta MTN ba
Yeah.
itse
Pizza.
muthi o pizza e tlo lokisa this and
Peita mole. O be sharp.
there's not amount of baiting that you can do, Sarah, that will
Yeah.
take it away. I think let's just unlearn certain things, like as far as um dealing with um really risky health conditions ka setso, and just go get a professional to assess accordingly, so that you can also be given the correct um information about dealing with the things. O ska ipateletsa and then setse go le late, because a
Yeah.
lot of the time motho o ya hospital first time and sa tsebe this whole time, and that first time is their last.
Yeah.
So just to be safe, it's like doing your pap smear, your test. Like, let's make it a
Yeah.
norm gore every now so often ye ke ntse ke check
And
gore,
I gave
yeah,
at least one.
hey,
Like, I think that's one of the tests more I fight with my nurse. Because you see how tiny my fingers are.
yeah.
That prick.
It's a quick
It's a quick, but every time you just feel your fingers. So
yeah.
there was a point where they were just going for my toes, because I was like, I shame, my
More eye
fingers
guys.
are finished. But
Yeah.
like you're saying, it's very quick, and it's better to know than not
Not to
know.
know.
And the sooner you know, the quicker you can be treated.
Mm.
And I understand it's a lifetime thing now.
It is. It definitely is. And I think especially if hunale motho like in your family that has it, you know, prioritize, because it skips generations.
Yeah.
My brother is fine, my sister's fine, but then I was,
Yeah.
So just, those random checks every now so often, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I think in our black community we need to change that. I know how we like normalize saying eco family. We say eco family but not treat it.
Mm.
We just accept eco family. So at least let's say eco family but we treating it. So that the next generation also know when they get diagnosed or I just need to take treatment. It's nothing scary. I think we need to change that.
We do. Absolutely, we do. Because just because eco family doesn't mean gore a o kgone ho phela.
Wabon.
There's people that have lived years and years and years living with the disease, bali sharp, because what they are eating well, they prioritize a walk here and there. It's not even like sign full gym membership. No, just walking every now and so often. O tsamaise masapo a mmele, so that ube sharp le wena. Because also we have very unhealthy habits re le batho ba Africa, like hey ra itjella ra itjella, and these things, that's also, it's not just taba ya family ya tla ya itlela, e ka se be teng ko family ya hao, o fihle wena Luyanda and you are the first one ka yone, because of the bad habits tsa ho ja. So yeah,
Is there a special diet that you're on?
I mean, yes and no. In a
Because you did say that you need to watch what you eat.
You
You
do.
don't just
You do
eat.
need to watch what you eat. So I don't eat starch. I don't eat the rice, the it's easy. It's easier for me, Shem, because I think ya khathaza, na papa ya khathaza anyway. So it was very
Yeah.
easy for me to get well anyway. But there is a special diet. There's special snacks that you should eat. You don't use your sugar. You use a sweetener type of thing. There's things that you are supposed to do to accommodate, which I do. But like, hey, in terms of dijo at taste them. Taba tsa ho boila everything.
Yeah.
Ai, ke a tshelanyana, wa bona garlic and what
Yeah.
mo. But yeah, essentially spicy, no, tswekere, no,
Yeah.
substitute tswekere ka bo madihane,
Honey,
ntho tse jwalo,
okay.
yeah, or sweetener.
See your honey.
Yeah.
I see your
Yeah. So yeah.
You mentioned Tore and this is a known thing. Hore, leqeba motho a nang le tswekere ga le full.
Mm.
Weren't you scared when you were doing your ink, or do they take longer to heal? I know this is related but unrelated. I'm sure you guys also
Mm.
want to know.
Mm. I'm different. I guess what's happening with my skin, yes, when it comes to ink.
Your skin
Uh,
forgets where you've got
like
diabetes.
it's literally like it's good. Like everything is well.
Yeah.
I never have issues with any of my tattoos. I've never had an issue with a tattoo not healing in time. I used to have like 23 piercings. Okay, actually, now that I mentioned that, it did affect when I had my industrial. It
Yeah.
took very long to
To
heal.
heal.
I don't know if you can notice, but like my fingers can't go into my ears because like I
Yeah.
had I'm on the
Oh,
on the
the
ear,
ear.
but obviously it was affected by at that time inconsistent sugar levels. They were not balanced. It wasn't treated really well, and plus that whole injection, so it ended up making an infection. E leng hore, to this day, it I so heal
I saw
because
heal.
I tlo
Yeah.
heal this thing. So yeah, it definitely does affect it. But with my tattoos, luckily, no, because you
Yeah, that's
really like
good.
getting it.
Because it literally just came to my mind, Hore,
Mm,
because literally tattoo is like a scar. So
mm,
how was the healing
no,
thingy?
my healing was pretty.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad,
Yeah.
man. We're almost done. I can't believe that I have to let you go. But before you go, what message do you have to someone who is living with diabetes, or someone who knows someone who is living with diabetes?
You're going to be fine. Like
Well, proof of life.
you are going to be fine. It's hard, it's emotionally taxing, but you can live. You
Yeah.
can manage it. Bophelo bo teng with it. Like it's
Mhm.
not the end of the world. You know, I wait just prioritize your health. Leka ka bojotlhe ba hao, ncipha, like
Yeah.
take less of things. If you finding it difficult to stop drinking, please prioritizing taking your medication so that whatever it is that you're intaking doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
It's manageable. Ke bophelo ba hao. No, there's nothing you can do. You can't take it back, but you can make better decisions
Decisions. Yeah.
and just prioritize. You are going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I think we so used to the YOLO, you only live once. No, guys, you live every day, but
Mm,
you die. So make
listen.
sure when you live, you make the most of
Mm,
out of it, because that's the only life that you are given, and only you can live it, not anyone else. So, yeah. This is where, we talk everything: health conditions, the rare realities that people do not know, the behind the scene, if I might put it,
that way. Mm.
yeah, not the medical terms, but how people take each day as it comes. And thank you so much, Luyanda,
But
for coming through and being on that seat. I know it wasn't easy. And more than anything, we're trying to break the stigma. Alright, guys, I'm living with this, but I can still live. Until next time, bye.